Hello. So just me today. No Fritzel, Frizzy Fritzel. Eno 98 is of course my long lost child who immigrated to Korea. He is on his training redemption arc to fight Slenderman in Jiu-Jitsu. I guess, son. Hope you're behaving yourself. Where the fuck is the lifting gun? So got added to weightlifting house. The website has improved since the last time, and you can buy individual sessions now as well. So if you haven't watched this one, but I think if you use a VPN, you can just go on to Facebook and watch it on the Olympic channel. And as I say that, my live stream is just gone. Give me a second. I'm predicting Lalian to do something massive, like 215 and 255. I don't think he's going to beat Lasha, but I reckon he's going to hit something really big and push it. Lasha seems to be in very, very good shape, as good a shape as we can ever see from the training hall. So hopefully we will see some big lifts from him. Enzo Korg is there. Thanks, Vasak. Yeah, we do enjoy making the YouTubes. We do. Need to get a haircut and a beard trim. So just in the middle of the day, kind of warm up. I hope everyone's watching it legally and paid for it. Big crowd. So, we've Simon Martirassian as well in the super heavies. I completely forgot about Simon. So he missed like 190 in the training hall the other day, or 180 in the snatch. But always good for a big clean and jerk. Don't know if anyone remembers, but Simon clean and jerked, or attempted to clean and jerk at like 246 at Junior Worlds. Back in like 2015 or something, or 2016, something like that. No, maybe a bit later actually than that. But there's rumors around Simon Martirassian and his birth cert. I don't know if that's true or not, but who knows? Thanks, Devin. World record shape. He definitely looks like his training hall shape looks like he's in as good a shape as he's ever been when he's previously set world records. So if you look at the 210s and 250s, they seem to be the numbers he usually kind of hits when he's going for bigger lifts. So I reckon he'll probably have to go for like a 215 plus snatch today. Lalian looks to be in very, very good shape. But I have a serious feeling Lalian is going to snatch 215 or more. And definitely one of my favorite technicians currently lifting, but definitely the best technically in terms of the super heavyweights. It'll be interesting to see what Simon is lifting, or Simone. There's Lasha. He's just on the Armenian crowds at the moment, getting the bus up. I wonder how popular weightlifting is in Armenia. Lash seems like a good guy. Anton speaks very highly of him. He said he's very nice, very, very pleasant. Always very nice guy. Gore Manassian showed up, but not competing. Gore. Who moved to? Didn't Gore move to Bahrain with Lesman Paredes, or am I thinking of Ruben? No, Gore moved. Yeah, so Gore wouldn't be competing. Yeah, Bahrain. Yeah, that's it. Sorry, I didn't see the second after your sentence, James. Yeah, so he moved to Bahrain. So he's obviously looking. Simon's fully fridged out, fully Armenian fridged. He's an incredible lifter. And I know he had some knee injury. Was it last year, the year before, with the serving some time in the army or something crazy like that? Hello, Balrog. So we're currently, I'm just watching it live, so we should all be synced up. But if anyone's rewatching this, the clock is on. Give me a second. Set o'clock. So at the moment there's is that Enzo? That is Enzo from the Dutch Weightlifting Federation, who are going through some. He's only 22. Holy shit! I thought Enzo was older than that. So the Dutch, obviously, Federation have been a lot of drama around the Dutch Federation recently. So Enzo definitely probably the youngest lifting, and then almost a few Polish. Oh, so this is Czech. I don't know who this is, but he's already icing his knee, so we're not off to a good start. And I imagine Lasha is one of the heaviest supers, so the weights are coming up here for Enzo's like 150, Tomas is 138, 139. So Georgians, here's the other Georgian super, who I don't think we've ever seen before. Lasha fully peptided up. Yeah, Lalia definitely has the best technique for a super. So I think we just saw on Weightlifting House's Instagram, there was Lasha was doing a 210 no foot snatch, which we saw on those Brute Kitchen videos, which are very, very good videos. So Lasha is definitely in good shape. Georgian doing pretty good, but I don't think they have a whole lot of other talent. They have a lot of lifters, but nobody, certainly not as special as Lasha, but nothing, no one amazing currently. But how often are you going to get him? Simon with the fullest of full beards. Lasha back on trend. I would imagine Lasha's not using trend. What I want to know is what the Italians are using. Simon beefcake. I'd love to see a heavy squat from Simon Martyrosian. Anyone know if there's any videos of him squatting heavy? We've only seen him do really light back squats in the training hall, but I'd be very interested to see. Yeah, when you think about it, that 210 no foot snatch is it's kind of not cool for everyone else lifting weights. But my other half, today's Sunday, so I said I would just pop on Lasha with KT tape on his knees. I'm not sure. I think we've all lost the point of what KT tape does, which is minimal. I'm just get Simon. Why do they always end up with new Instagrams every few weeks, every few months? There's always some kind of, they delete all their videos. There's multiple different ones. So no videos of Simone. I wonder if there's any videos of him on the internet. So there's Lalian, definitely the biggest contender coming at Martyrosian. There is my arch nemesis, Tomas. So the winner of 2015 Europeans, who obviously, as I mentioned before, I was beating for a while until he lifted. Didn't know he'd moved up to supers though. Not Thomas. Adria, because I think he's coaching some people. He's filled them out as well. 33. Fuck, looks great. Didn't know he was. Don't know why I say 33 like that. It's not that old. They're Martine, so definitely the strongest squatter of all the supers, who's also 33 as well. Interestingly, 144 kilos. Definitely seeing the average age of lifters going way up, which is very, very interesting and not slowing down. So Cormac, yeah. So Lasha is thick. This looks like some pro strongman here. Very cool tattoos. Check. What language are those tattoos in? So he's 38. Speaking of age, holy shit. All that subcutaneous fat just keeps you looking young. And then we have Israeli super, seen a bit of him, David Litvinov, 132. Some variance in weights, 30 years old as well. So generally we do see that heavyweights peak later in their career. So super heavies peak the latest. Usually takes about 17 years. I think the average 15 to 17. And it's something like 15 or so for heavyweights and kind of medium heavyweights to peak, and the lighter weight classes peak later or get to their maximum. So generally takes quite a while. So the average age of the supers is well into the 30s here for this session, which is very interesting. Starting in couple of seconds out. So we have the Hungarian super with all Peter Nagy. So he's been around for a while. I'd like to see his age. I missed it. Strength Shop released their first weightlifting shoe. Oh, I haven't seen that actually. My first pair of shoes, that's not true. Strength Shop had weightlifting shoes for a long time. 11, 12 years ago, my first pair of shoes were blue clown shoes from weightlifting shop, or from Strength Shop. They did the job. They actually had two pairs of shoes, two different ones. They had a wooden heel one. So Peter, 163, just unfortunately is just a warm-up act for the supers. Yeah, sorry. F71N. Yeah, they had a wooden heel one, but they also had like a rubber heel one as well. But I must have a look at their €100. That's a good mark. Anything with a heel and a stable base is a great entry point for anyone. So I always recommend the cheapest shoes for your first pair of weightlifting shoes, and then you can kind of figure out what you want to go from there. No, I don't think we'll see 500 today, but I think we might see something closer to that. So let's see, is there any videos of Simon Martin back squatting? Don't think there is though. No, just math. Oh, there's a 300 for a double. Holy shit. Oh, and it's on the Seeker Strength shorts, so I already saw this. Yeah, that's pretty as I thought it would be. I'd love to know what he's squatting at the moment. What his best are. I was a little bit from a really old training vlog from Hook Grip, who doesn't do them anymore. Apparently said it wasn't worth it, the time invested. Supposedly Carlos's best back squat, he said it's 307. Rustam Janabi. I did see that 350 back squat. I didn't know he was banned actually. I did. Did anyone see Akbar Jarayev's 290 kilo front squat? So it was up in his story. If it's not there, that's outrageous lifting. So there was a 290 front squat. If you haven't seen it. So I assume he's still a super, although he doesn't look quite as big as he did a few months ago when he did the supers at the World Championships. So 290, viciously easy. Okay, Peter again, 168. So nice and easy. Peter Nagy, 168. So I'll just sync up the clock there in a second if anyone's watching this posthumously or you've joined later. The 2 minutes, 159, 158, 157, 156, 155, 154. Peter Nagy. Okay, holy shit, who's this horse? So absolute unit. This must be the new Georgian on the block, dwarfing Mr. Azanitsi. Is there too much to heal? Absolutely. So generally for most people, that 1 inch is okay, but some people can do it a little bit less. Some people can do it a bit more. Generally, if you're taller, you might want a bit more of a heel. And then if you're a shorter lifter, sometimes the 1 inch heel is a bit too much. It's not great for your balance. So you might actually want a bit less of a heel. So like 1.25 inches would certainly be too much. Oh, misses the front. Shit. Bakari Termanids. Not gonna lie, George names are pretty tough to say. Favorite horse, Fridges back. Thanks, Banana Bread. If anyone is interested. Interested in what? Oh yes, the string shop shoes. Let's have a look at them. Okay, here's a Polish Arcadius. First attempt, 170. Interesting move up to supers. So maybe he didn't want to move down to the 102s. So he was a 105. And obviously committed. Maybe it's just for this one, although he's up to the 130s in body weight. So nice and easy. So later in his career, he's going to want to gain a bit more weight potentially to try and elongate the peak, I suppose, but there's a risk then you get a bit slower as you get heavier. So I'm just looking for strength shops, shoes. Oh, they don't look that bad. Holy shit, they look like Nike. Oh, interesting. What the fuck? These look like a Nike 4, Nike 2 Duin kind of amalgamation. It's the exact same sole as the ROM 4s and ROM 2s. A little bit of a Duin. Interesting. Very interesting. Introducing the Sumo Sole GN3. So this is obviously your deadlifting shoe. Deadlifting slippers always just look terrible. Absolutely terrible. Okay, Mart Seam up first. So 170. PB back's out of 400 kilos. So he is pretty strong for the supers. Snatch isn't usually his best lift. I don't know what we've seen from most, but I don't think it's been in the 200s. I don't know if we've even seen 200. Ooh, not looking great. He has very, very short arms for a super, and that does make it quite difficult if you can't grip the bar super wide. Especially as your hips are larger, you're going to need to stand a little bit wider, a bit more space to get the barbell around. So we're back out with the Georgian super, the new super, not the Lasha, of course. Who's an absolute monster. Bakari, 170. Missed his first attempt at 170. Yeah, I think we've seen like a 150 press or something from Martzine. So no foot snatch from Bakari, 170 second attempt. Pretty good. So we're obviously all just waiting for the big dogs to come out. Just trying to look for those strength shop shoes, see how much they are. Strength shop been around for a long time. We're talking like 15 or 20 years. Footwear. So 90 pounds, original weightlifting shoe. Very interesting. They do look like an amalgamation of the Duwins and the Ram 2s. Two straps. Nice looking sole. Okay, the sole is the exact same as the Nike 2s, the Ram 2s. Jesus. Interesting. Hit Mark Seams out again for his second attempt. First one looked pretty light, but he just missed it out front. Oh, pretty ropey. So Martin is that very aggressive start off the ground, and then ended up seeing a lot of loop around his knees as he's passing the barbell. So the knee passage, and then you see as it gets overhead, then obviously it's slightly out in front, and he's chasing it forward. So it's always slightly forward, and then of course supers can't get as low as the lighter weight classes or as deep in the squat, so it obviously makes things a little bit more difficult for him. So yeah. Okay, back out with the Hungarian super. Hungary weightlifting or Hungarian weightlifting is obviously famous. Well, if you started weightlifting 10 years ago, you would have seen the very famous video of that Hungarian weightlifter dislocating his elbow at Beijing, which is a video that was just all over the place for some reason. Vicious. Seems to happen once in Olympics. So, and Ranik cramping at him in the 2016 Olympics. Actually, I don't think anyone dislocated their elbow in 2020. Nobody did anything crazy. So Peter out free start attempt at 172. I know it's not fair for the lifters here, but we're all just waiting to see the top people. And you're like, okay, 172 snatch, obviously incredible snatching, incredible lifting, but it's not what we're here to see. Oh, not there. That bar was moving way too slow. So you can watch it. You can buy an individual session for weightlifting house. So you can buy one session. I think it's like €4 or €5. or if you're not in the weightlifting house countries, you can buy it, or you can watch it on the Olympic channel. I think it was in the Facebook stream for a while on the EWF. All of the sponsors on this dude: Ginger Shot, extra large, faster, stronger. This is our Czech super. He's 38 years old. Really looks like he should be a pro strongman. So Camille Kozera, 175 kilo snatch for first attempt. XXL Labs. That's suspicious. Very suspicious. This isn't going to be pretty, but I'd say he's going to absolutely smash this 175 kilo snatch. I'm not loving the new minimalist Alico 5s either. I don't like it's a bit too bare bones. Oh, all speed, but not to be hard. It's actually looking up to see there was a nootropic. A rush sponsors are allowed at Europeans. So any continental events, there are certain diameters and certain sizes you can have. So you can't have them above certain size. At the Olympics, there's no sponsors allowed, so that's why you'll see them like with black tape over their, or you would have seen it like in Rio, they've been black tape over their knee sleeve brand, their singlet brand. So there's a size, I think under certain size you could have at the Olympics, but due to the massively huge money that goes into sponsorship at the Olympics and the amount of money sponsorship investors put into the Olympics, they're really strict on the advertising that can be done. So at European level events and stuff like this, you can have certain sized sponsorship, which is fair and it should be allowed for the athletes, of course. Very nice. Oh, I could. So always that kind of slides back with his feet. He never really gets that aggressive foot movement. So he's always in that kind of slightly slower underneath the bar in that position. So we still have 4 to come yet. So Lalian, of course, and Lasha and Simon. Lasha's 210 down his opener. Lalian is 200. I feel like Lalian's going to go 200, 210, and 215 or something similar. So our super's back out again from the Czech Republic. XXL Labs. Faster, stronger, better. And I'm sure Wada would have a few things to say about that. So this is Noopept. I don't know if anyone's heard of the nootropic Noopept. It's for motor learning. I was trying to see if it was banned by WADA or not, but it looks like it's not banned yet. So a lot of those race TAMs and other meldonium are all banned by WADA, but it looks like Noopept isn't banned yet. But it's very, very hard to find out. Basically, they have a carte blanche statement which says they can kind of ban you for something. Oh, catching the bottom position so that ankle mobility looks like it's not letting him sit in enough. Second attempt missed. All the speed there, no problem on speed. Or speed under. It's really his bottom positions that are catching him. I feel like he'll come out for his third attempt and nail it. I don't think it'll be an issue. Yeah, he's that's why I said it looks like a pro strongman. So we don't know what Mart's kind of condition he is, and he's kind of quiet on his social media. I don't think there's anything. I'm just going to check his Instagram, but I don't think there's any even big lifts from him. I know he had injured. I think he had the elbow injury. So yes, there's been nothing too heavy. So obviously massive squats, 310 for a double, 280 for 8. Okay, so best clean jerk, 210. So very, very good cleaner. Ban all the herbs too. Is the benefit of Noopept somewhat marginal? It'll be bad. So the thing with Noopept is that it seems to be long-term solidification of either complex motor patterns, or if you're looking to learn things like words or remember things, Noopept seems quite useful, but it's reasonably benign. But that hasn't stopped WADA banning absolutely anything before. So WADA has like 2 or 3 different remits in regards to. Sorry, I take Turkish ties coming. So the one of WADA's remits in terms of banning stuff, or one of their criteria, is it has to be safe for human use, and if it's not proved safe, among two other things. I think one of the other things is available to all athletes or something like that, which is it's just nonsense really. But yeah, new Pept is fairly benign, but there was talks apparently of it being banned. But some people reckon new Pept is more useful than race TANs or meldonium in terms of the learning process, which would be quite interesting. Another thing that's come up a lot is the mix of L-carnitine and choline injectables. So make a huge difference in terms of like food for neurotransmitters, but in terms of high intensity contractions, it seems like a no-brainer to be using L-carnitine and choline. Of course, they're not fit for human use, I suppose, in the places you can buy them. So I think you could buy L-carnitine injectable over the counter in Europe, but you don't seem to get the same benefits from taking it orally. I wonder if there's any law around, or is there any WADA issue around the injection of L-carnitine or something like that? Obviously, it's just an essential amino acid, and choline, very, very important for neurotransmitter production. So the 102 stream crashed for the Facebook. Yeah. I think people are talking about a stream on the Olympic channel, but I haven't seen it. Oh yeah, Joe Sullivan heavily implanted carrying choline and no Pept for working around his nerve issues. Listened to the podcast about it yesterday. Oh yes, I really like Joe and his coach. I know Alex Keegle is a big fan of the new Pept and the carnitine and choline. Alex has helped me with my nutrition at the moment. Okay, we're back out of for a third of them for Camille Kusera. So I really hope he makes this because just you want to see someone that big, an absolute horse smashing a weight. Can you post a link? I absolutely have no problem with you posting links, but I don't think you'll be able to post a link. But if you post it in like sections or something, maybe, or if you tell me where it is, I might be able to post a link. So if you give me 2 seconds, let's just Camille 175. Whoa, fuck. All the speed, fast under, good fast pull, decent positions. Just that position is catching him. I'd say his clean jerk is going to be brutal, but like not in a bad way. Oh, is that working? Sports events, Olympic qualifier, European. Yeah, Jake Benson seems very, very cool. I love all the shots he was taking at NCMA as well in that podcast. Very funny. But the train and the powdered growth hormone. Okay, so that should let you watch it. I assume if you're not in the weightlifting health countries. In fairness, the stream, I understand. Like when I was in college and stuff, I couldn't afford Eurosport or anything like that. So even I think Eurosport used to be like €25 a month. I remember in college having to look for streams because there was just no way I could justify it. But yeah, I'm happy to pay for Weightlifting House's stream, because they're no one else is going to do it, and it's a big undertaking for them. But I totally understand when people just can't afford that kind of thing. Yeah, he got a lot of those out. Jake got a lot of those out in NCMA, which is funny. But yeah, Jake seems really chilled out. One post. Yeah, actual random. Your link is there. Oh, he hit 176. Should have missed it. So this is the other Armenian super. If anyone knows what age is, I'd be interested to see because I didn't see at the start. So Bakari 176. I will say one thing for a lot of the Georgian team, their technique is not sharp. So Lasha's technique is obviously phenomenal, but a lot of the rest of the team's technique isn't great. And they have quite a few lifters, but it's hit or miss. So David Lifanov for the Israel weightlifting team. So Israel always a few lifters knocking around. The city Alexiv, the original super, carry 28. Okay, interesting. So I think David's quite fast, from what I remember. So absolute giant of a man by the looks of things, considering how far above that barbell he is. Nike Rom 2s. I love how many people are wearing Rom 2s. Oh, what? I always wonder, what does the last warm-up look like that when you come out and make a miss your first attempt like that? How is it justified? It can't be that big a difference. And they're all really experienced athletes and coaches, so they know if something looks really bad in the warm-up room, are you still going to come out with that? It's so strange to me. It just flabbergasts me. What such more willing to risk it? Okay, so David Liftenoff missed his first attempt to 180. Oh, who's that lifter there? The guy in the background behind David Liftenoff. I think he's a Czech lifter as well. I can't think of his name, unless it looks incredibly like him. It's Pisarenko, dude. Yeah, Pisarenko. That photo of Pisarenko is one of the reasons I just got enamored with weightlifting. And Georgy Markov, the Sydney Olympics. So David, Horseful Man. Not gonna lie, that 180 did not look like a 180 that you're gonna come out and miss or make again. It's not one of those 180s where you're like, oh, they just messed it up because it's their first attempt on the big stage. That looked like a not a good attempt. It looks like he should open 6 or 7 kilos lower. The Israeli singlet leaving a lot to be desired. Not the coolest. Portuguese singlets, I don't know if you managed to see one or two of those. There was in the women's 87. Very cool singlet. Very, very cool. Lithuania used to have very cool singlets. Obviously, South Americans have some of the most flamboyant singlets, which is great to see. Kazakhstan, Ilias superhero singlet, obviously another cracking singlet. So David coming out for his second attempt at 180. We're getting close to the big boys, so we're getting close to 200. So not many people left. So Simon left open, Lasha left open, of course, and Lalian left to open. So it'll be very interesting to see who opens, but what they actually want to open with. So second attempt for David. Let's see it, David. Super deep start position, very hard behind the barbell. The hips are generally too low in that kind of start position. So obviously he's a super, and he's quite a tall super. So his femurs are quite long, so that pushes his knees really far in front of the barbell. So start with those really low hips. When you're trying to get your knees out the way, if they're super far in front at the start with those low hips, it makes it a very tough job, and you end up missing out in front. And that doesn't look like an attempt where he's going to make it again. So hopefully David goes back and smashes it. Oh, Enzo, yeah, I forgot about Enzo actually. I wonder why he looked like he wasn't even changed. I wonder what's going on. Tamas, yes, didn't lift either. Yeah, Seb Pisarenko's squatting in underpants. Yeah, you don't like the Portuguese singlet? I quite liked it. The Georgian doctor, all round good guy, always there to help anyone. Come on, David. Third attempt, 180. I don't think it's happening, unfortunately. Yeah, terrible. No. No improvement. All right, so David's third attempt, 180. Then we're about to see probably gold, bronze, and silver attempts. Enzo's injured. Did anyone see that really weird photo on Nino's Instagram? There was some kind of weird, some dark hallway or something. So Nino, something very strange going on. Okay, David, third attempt, 180. Oh, shit. So that's 2 bomb outs so far, 2 pull outs. So it's for no lifts or no registered lifts from people. Very strange. Yeah, so this from Nino with Lincoln Park in the end. I don't know what the fuck that is. Nino's going through some things. Hopefully he's all right though. Yeah, the white part. Yeah, it would be nicer if there wasn't the white part on it. All right, Simon. Is it Simon or Simone? I've heard people say Simone, but I don't know if that's right. Loves the game of drafts as well, by the way. Very popular. Okay, 190, first attempt for Simon, Mr. Marta Rossian. Seems to be in okay shape in the training hall, but he did miss a 180. But here's his first attempt. 190, first attempt. Oh, so nice. So crisp. Immaculate. Good vibes all around. I think Nino has to lift at that competition in Cuba. So I don't think he can make it to Worlds. I think he has to lift. I think he has to lift at the next competition soon. I think he has to register a total. Oh, I bet Simon's second attempt is going to be better than his first attempt here. So nice and easy. Guaranteed bronze. Unless someone bronze. Yeah. Always has that weird kind of sight, more internal rotation on one side than the other. So 2 attempts following himself from 195. It's an interesting move for him to move up to supers because how hard would it the cut to been to 102 be? And he would have been very competitive, you know. But it's obviously it's not too late. I assume he can still move down. But very interesting that he went up to the supers. Maybe he was just, and he did the supers as I was talking about in the junior worlds before. So he did the 246 attempt as a junior world as a super heavyweight, but he was only like 115. I think he's done some European juniors as super heavyweight as well. But it's interesting now that he's made the full commitment. He doesn't look like he's much of a frame to fill out anymore. Generally, you know, you have to be quite tall to be a full super heavyweight, like Lasha, for example. There's only so much compacting you can do into that frame. And I know he's reasonably tall for a weightlifter, but I don't know if he's tall enough to be fully maxed out as a super. But there's obviously compromises being made in terms of where he'd place at competitions and most likely to get more medals at certain positions. Like they know they're not going to beat Lasha, but are they more likely to get a couple of bronzes, silvers, medal at the Olympics, something like that? Possibly. So that would obviously be, you know, amazing as it is. Simon is certainly one of the best lifters in the last 10 or 20 years. So, you know, he is warranted making big attempts or big moves even. Big time players make big time moves. So 195. I think he's going to nail this one. 195 kilos. Fresh as fuck. Alico barbell. Nailed it. Oh, I'd love to see a 200 for him. 200 would be massive for him. Obviously massive for anyone. Full house from the Armenians. Great to see. Love to see the support. 95. Okay, I think he's going to get the 200. Yeah, so close here. Unbelievable how close he's keeping it here. So, yeah. I think I heard people talking about a competition in Cuba, and I think it's like one of the next Olympic qualifiers. And from what I remember, I need to verify it, but it's I think that's one where Nino has to do a lift. Yeah, I think it's something like the Roma Cup or something like that. So I think with this one, this Olympic qualification, you only need one good performance. You don't need multiple different ones, from what I remember. So it should make for more all-out lifts. And I think the standard of lifting across the Europeans has been very good. Hopefully, we get to see that backroom 195 from Lalian, but it should make every competition more because you're more likely to risk it because you just need to register one good performance. I'm delighted for Ritfars as well. So I know Ritfars has been training very hard. Suarez. So was it 155 and 190? So you did 157, 195 in training, or 190? No, 186 or 185. So not enough to beat Xi Jiang, but is it enough to medal at the Olympics? I'd love for him. Ritfars, really nice guy. Is it better to go? Carlos could be yoked to 102. Carlos looks like a pro natty vegan bodybuilder. Yeah, this would be huge if Simon makes this 200 for progress. Is it better to go to super heavy early on or progress into it? So I think I was mentioning earlier on, Scott, is that generally you'll see super heavyweights peak later in their career. It takes a longer time just by the nature of the time it takes to get kind of heavier weights. So super heavyweights, it's something the average with something like 17 years to peak, 15 to 7. Same with kind of just heavyweights, usually around 15 years to peak, maybe 15 to 17. Lighter weights then would be kind of 12 years or so to get to the maximum lifts. Obviously, not peaking in terms of competition performance, just peaking in terms of all out training lifts. But you'll usually see supers are supers from late teens. You know, people like Simon and Akbar are kind of anomalies in that regard. We normally didn't see that before. Clarence lives in a different country, and I haven't been able to see him, especially with COVID and stuff. But obviously, I'll see him when they're going to Japan and Korea. Haven't had a chance to train at Clarence in a while. He's living in the UK at the moment, but of course, still very much a citizen. 200 kilos. Let's go, Simon. Come on. Oh! That's a training make. That counts. That's a training make. I count that. If I got 200 that far, I'd be like, oh, training make. It's good though because that bodes well. You know, he's another 15 or 16 months to get ready for the Olympics in Paris. So I think they have tickets for the supers and tickets for the 102s, I think. So hopefully it might get to see some lifting in person. Lally and 205. I'm telling you, Lalian's going to get a 215 if he's on form. I feel that. Yeah, there's a video of Lasha doing 210 no foot. I'd say we'll see a big clean and jerk from Simon, maybe like 245 or so. The hairline is pretty strong. She should be back. Lee versus Tian, Akbar supers as well. Okay. Best technician in supers at the moment, I think, is Lalian across both lifts. Ideal BF Grand Prix in Cuba. Thanks, Chris Manick. Are we doing a seminar in Korea? No, actually, no seminars anywhere. So be a seminar in London in the first weekend in July, but we haven't actually. Probably should look into it if someone's interested in hosting. If you are, then let us know and reach out. Korea is mostly just to get some other videos, of course, but to visit a friend. Yes. Does anyone know how old Lalian is? I'm currently training 7 days a week at the moment, so between jiu-jitsu and strength training. So no days off at the moment. NDO 210, 205. A little bit off in the bottom position, but the pull is there all day. They've been less strict on some people with the calls and the elbows, which is interesting. Dr. Georgie looking like a true doctor. Great to see. Lash's first attempt. Georgie just kissed him on the chest. A little loving little kiss. Speaking black magic. Lash's beard is always really well groomed, if you've ever noticed that. I think this might be probably the second last Europeans will see Lash in. I reckon after next year. I think Lash is going to retire after Paris. So first attempt, 210. Obviously, he's going to nail this. So, yeah, should be training hopefully with Toshiki. Hopefully he's able to do some squats. 210 for Lasha. Easy. Oh, 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 oh. No problemo. I feel like you probably can't be a fridge if you're a super. You're a bit bigger than a fridge. You're not really compact. You're more rotund. 210. Wait, did he change? Did he always wear orange Nikes? What color Nikes was he wearing before? Thanks, Scott. What color? I don't like those orange Nikes so much. Right. So I am so sure we're going to see a two. Wait, did someone say 217? So Lasha 217. So Lalian's out for what's the Lalian coming out at? 212. There we go. Yeah, they're probably more tanks than fridges. Lee Sang. So apparently, the training hall where Lee Sang and the rest of the Korean team train is very strict with outsiders, or at least it was during COVID from someone we were talking to. So maybe you'll get in there, but hopefully, I'd love to train, especially with Jan Hack, the Korean John Wick. 210 for Lalian. Oh, telling you, 215 is next. 215 or 216. Sorry, did someone say what age Lalian was? 23. All right, perfect. Okay, okay. So lots of time was a super. Definitely, definitely there's a 215 there. 215 would be incredible. Absolutely incredible. Don't see a lot of amazing supers from Europe at the moment. Obviously, Lalian and Lasha aside, but no crazy big ones at them as we are right now. So 2 attempts. Both have put down 217. I don't know if Lalian can hit 217 today. I think 215 seems a bit more likely. But Lash is coming out for 217, so Lalian's obviously going big. But it only makes sense. Literally, there's no reason for Lalian to not go a massive weight on his next attempt. Lalian, let's go. Not that I want Lasha to lose, but if Lasha missed this, that would be so interesting. But he does have 2 attempts left. See, Lasha might not make this because he didn't get a little kiss on the chest from Georgie. So a little smudging. All right, 217. But if Lasha makes this, that means he's going to snatch something to 220s, which is always massive. Yup. Oh, it's so much better than the last one. Oh, Kakashvili in the audience. Literally one of the greatest weightlifters ever to grace a platform. Loves it. The heaviest snatch, I think, was Salimi with 216. Smashed it. Maybe, oh no, did Salimi do 217 or 216? I can't remember. Lalian out. Was he going 218? Ooh. Yeah, so Salimi made 216. Lasha made 216. Gore made 216. Krastev made 216. All right, Lalian 218. Even seeing that loaded on the bar for super snatching is unbelievable. Lasha looking out of breath. Oh! Didn't knew too much. Too much. But it made sense. There was no reason not to go for it. He might as well attempt it. No lift. Should have gone 215 and nailed it for a little PB. Yeah. It just looked a little bit too slow off the floor. Lasha better do something good now. Something impressive. This 217 doesn't cut it anymore. 222. Where did we see Lasha do 225? Was that Worlds? Let me see what I'm doing at deadlifts today. Come on, Lasha. 2, 2, 2, 2. Choo choo. Should be maxing my deadlift soon. Weak. Oh, just a heavy single. 240. That's okay. Doing the pull program. Nearly finished. Come on, Lasha. 222 kilos. Maple collection. Yeah. 222 kilos. Judging by the 217, he's going to make this no problem. It doesn't look like it's going to be any hassle. Yup. Oh! Oh, incredible. Oh, is that Tigran Martirassian in the audience as well? There's a throwback. If anyone knows who Tigran is, I'd be impressed. There's some OG lifters. Incredible lifting. 222. Ooh, outrageous. Can we ask? Outrageous. Absolutely outrageous. Yeah, Tigran was in, I think he was 85 and a 77 for a while. Can we knee deadlifts 222? Bakari, just like happy to be there. Made a fool of it. Right, so we got that 10-minute break, so we'll be back with the clean and jerks. If you want to ask me any training questions while we're waiting, because as this is live, obviously I can't speak. Don't know. So, Georgie kiss. Quality of webcam was great. Is that, yeah, that 222? It looks like Lalian's clean and jerks have come on a lot as well in the last while, so we might see him push Lasha into the 260s maybe, or late 250s, depending on what he's feeling like. No, I don't think we'll see 270. So you used to be allowed to take a fourth attempt if you were attempting a world record. They should probably let that happen again. It used to be if you were attempting a new world record, you could take a fourth attempt, and I think there was good value to that. You're not losing anything. A little bit extra time, but not that much. But yeah, it used to be a rule, but they got rid of that a long time ago. Carlos competed in the German second Bundesliga this year with 380. Yeah, so the Bundesliga get a lot of the Eastern European lifters, or not a lot of them, but they're routinely getting a few of them. Ivan Markov used to do it. What's the Bulgarian 73 kilo lifter? The really fast dude. What's his name? He lifts in the Bundesliga as well. Why do front squats hit the abs? How is it possible? By mechanically? No, it makes perfect sense. So front squat, bar is loaded anteriorly, bar is here. You're essentially a hinge forwards in this direction, so resisting the desire to come forward and curl over, go into upper back flexion is part of the primary job of your abs in the front. So they resist this motion of curling forward like a door, and they just stop you from literally folding over. So it's their job. And obviously, if they get pretty heavy, the loading is quite hard and it works them quite well. I definitely recommend extra core work, but the front squats, that's their entire job, is to keep that torso, the abs, keep your torso nice and straight if needed, in conjunction obviously with the posterior muscles. Seb, possibly. Seb's got to sell them tickets, got to drum up interest. Don't breathe at me. Demolish 222. Why can I clean more than I can front squat? Nick, I would say you're either very, 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 very weak, or your technique sucks, or both of those. Or it's also possible that you have poor mobility. So it could be a lot of reasons. What are you cleaning? Oh, powers or nothing. That's probably why. So you're just technically not able to from your power clean. Although as a thrower, your squat should definitely be a lot higher than your power clean. Maybe not your front squat necessarily, but your squats should definitely be your power cleaning 170 or front squatting 170. I clean more than my front squat. Right. What are you back squatting, Nick? Any thoughts on Maddie Rogers complaining about athletes from banned countries being able to compete? Should she complain or just put up with the sport? As in, from banned countries? What? Give me more context on that, Ben. Because if you've served your band, then it's time to come back, I suppose. I'm doing the RTA right now for second time. I didn't got alternatives for GHD sit-ups. My gym does not have a GHD. Just do normal sit-ups on the floor. Get someone pin your legs, put your legs under the bench, put them under the barbell. Normal sit-ups, totally fine. Yeah, right. So back squats then generally, if the bar is further back, so in your kind of posterior, the balance is more towards the back, obviously. So your posterior muscles back, etc. Lower back need to stabilize a little bit more, which will still obviously play, your abs will still play a large role in the stabilization of your trunk, especially in terms of flexion or extension, one way or the other of your back. I love these warm-up room lifts. Nailing 180. For post weight loss rebuild, should the squat and press program be enough together, or should they run on top of the off-season and other base programs? So post weight loss rebuild. So if I was you, I would run one block of the off-season at least, John, and then I would run the squat and press together. That'd be totally fine. Give yourself plenty of opportunity. The off-season program by itself would be loads of work. You can do that for 4 or 8 weeks, but depending on what sport you're doing, John, the off-season one block should be loads, and then move into your squat and your press program from there. Everything 170. So are you from squatting like 160 or 165? 170 is loads for a thrower. Oh, yeah, I don't think, are Egypt competing? What was Maddie Rogers saying? I didn't see that in particular. I saw the thing she was complaining about the shoes, which is interesting. Oh, after they came back from a ban. But look, if if uh, if you're not allowed to come back after a ban, no country in the world would be competing. You know, America would certainly be gone. Every country would be gone if you were not allowed to come back after banned athletes. It's a bit. I think it's a bit ridiculous statement. So 190 for David Little off the warm up. Not looking super easy. No, not Angel Rusev. He lets go of the jerk. His fingers slide out on the jerk. What's his name? 73 kilo lifter. Yeah, technically my best is more than the power clean, but at the moment probably can't do 160. So I wouldn't be too worried about front squats anyway. For chores, generally it's back squats is the primary concern. Back squats and power cleans. Yeah, Andrew, that's the one. So by neglecting my glutes and hamstrings for a long time, what should I do as a weightlifter? Nordics and RDLs. So heavy pulls are quite good for that, and I do really like Nordic falls. Very useful, and generally RDLs are quite good, but usually prefer for weightlifters snatch grip RDLs because it gets a lot more. Because that position is generally harder to hit with the snatch grip, and you'll see people will kind of turn an RDL with a clean grip into a bit more of a stiff-legged deadlift or kind of a semi stiff-legged deadlift because they'll have some flexion in their knees and they'll lower the hips a little bit. So you're kind of turning into a low-hang deadlift, which doesn't happen as much with the snatch grip RDL, but even if it does, you still get a lot of benefit for the posterior chain. So Nordics definitely, snatch grip RDLs. I like dumbbell RDLs as well. Carlos 3D5. Yeah, in terms of lower body, here's the lower body strength for athletics is much more useful across most sports. So even if you look at punching, so one of the interesting things, the correlations between upper body power and punching, or upper body strength and punching power, is dubious. There's not really any strong correlations so far, but there is a fairly strong correlation between lower body strength and punching power or punching speed. So definitely, for in terms of athleticism, it's the generally the squat in terms of lower body strength is the king. Upper body strength is definitely useful, but as general athleticism goes, it doesn't really assist that much unless it's for sport specific stuff, you know, like for throwers or for football or rugby or something like that. Mhm. Can squat the full depth with an ass tuck. Last few inches make my lumbar round. Front squats work though, saving up for shoes. Should I do full depth front squat in the meantime or just limit my depth? So generally what we like to recommend if you have a lot of lower back flexion or a lot of butt wink is to go for shortening the depth and then over time trying to get lower. So you're not limiting the depth forever. You're just trying to limit the depth until you can control your lower back and address the issues. So whether it be ankle mobility, hip mobility, both of those for the front squat. It's generally for the front squat, it's probably a positional thing if you're hitting butt wink, although it could almost certainly be ankle mobility as well. It's generally one of the major limiting factors in front squats. So it's either upper back strength or the ankle mobility. So Peter out with 208 for the supers. Obviously a long way off. Yeah, so Brad, I would limit your depth for a period of time and then try and get lower when you can control that lower back position and try to get a little bit lower each week. So we are currently just into the first attempt of the clean and jerks. Bakary, the other Georgian super, is coming up for his second attempt. He is just enormous. Even the size of his head. Holy shit. His head is like twice the size of Georgi Etznitsy's. So Bakary out with the second attempt, or first attempt, second clean and jerk. 210. You'll notice all of the supers are mouth breathers. Gotta fight the sleep apnea. 210. Was he doing all these snatches kind of no foot? Same when he cleans. Solid. That I suppose, you know, we've still about 50 kilos to go before we see the last clean and jerk, I would think. Kind of looks Irish. Absolute unit of a man, all the same. How many sessions in the horse broken beat? It would be 4 sessions a week. 4 sessions. Nearly done. Nearly finished it. Just have a few changes left to make or a few things left to think about, but it is nearly ready and we will be very, very near the end of it. So 12 weeks, not much left to change on it. So Arcadius out with 210 first attempt, usually very quick under the barbell. Nice. I like the Boulder single as well. It's quite a nice singlet. So in terms of lower body strength, so obviously the legs are massively important in stabilizing and transfer of power. You know, a lot of times you hear boxers talk about the punching from the legs or punching from the hips and lower body ability to stabilize and transfer power from the ground up is very important. And obviously having a high level of squat makes a huge difference. And you'll see that, in other sports as well. And obviously heavy back squats, if you get strong enough, still involve a lot of the upper body in terms of stabilization. So Rad, if it does cause pain in the lumbar when you go heavy, then you will have to just build into it and give it an opportunity to build up to the heavy squats. It's interesting the debate on it's died down a little bit, but it's still certainly present with the. It was a while there last year. It kind of peaked. Was that butt wink doesn't hurt anyone, and no one couldn't say for sure butt wink hurts anyone. But lots of people get SI joint pain or problems, and they also have butt wink. So finding a correlation is quite difficult, but it's certainly present. So there was kind of this thought process that you could just adapt to anything, and it didn't matter how much butt wink you had, your body get over it. And you know, that certainly might be true for some people, but as with a lot of things like that, it's entirely dependent on an individual. So it's not fair to say to someone who has pain, generally see SI pain or SI joint issues, if they have butt wink, and then say, "Oh, you'll adapt. It's not the butt wink," but like it's usually for us a symptom of something else. Is it a symptom of poor technique, mobility issues in the hip, mobility in the ankle? Do I consciously think about my squat descent or just squat however feels naturally, especially in higher rep sets? No, I definitely consciously think about it. I am speeding it up a little bit at the moment. I slowed it down for a while, but for last years, but at the moment I'm speeding up a bit more because my legs are fresher because I'm not doing as much lifts. So Mark seems lifts just exceed his technical abilities, and after a certain stage, the ratios just don't really mean anything for people. So once you get beyond a certain size of squat compared to your snatch, clean and jerk, the ratios become meaningless. So it's you just enter a new order of magnitude where going from 360 to 400 kilos will have no real major effect on your snatch or clean and jerk. So he just hit the far end of that spectrum. Technically, his snatch leaves a lot to be desired personally. Clean and jerk, he's quite good, and he's clean and jerk, I think reflects he's in that order of magnitude that he's squatting enough for 250s, and then the rest comes down to physical ability, timing, technique, mental aspects around lifting, how much he does the lifts, how much drugs he takes, a lot of different aspects around that. So you kind of get into these bands where if I need to clean jerk 200, I certainly need to be able to squat at least this much. And then after that, then there's no guarantee. The other variables come into play then. $210 for David Liffenoff. Oh, Australia. Yes, thanks, Nick. I'm sure I'll get to Australia at some point, but it literally could not be farther away at the moment. Very keen to get to New Zealand at some stage as well. Oh. Is there something you can exchange the bottom up kettlebell press and press program? I don't have kettlebells. So you can do bottoms up. You can do plate presses, pinch grip plate presses. So you just hold the plate vertically and then press from here, just like this. Just literally hold them like that. You'll do perfectly well as well. I see my max deadlift put overhead. How's the pole going? Okay, 3/4 of people cannot deadlift 222. Lashes out here just wrecking people. No need for it. No need for it. You run this RTA press and pull at the same time. How would you structure each week? So Finn, you can. We've dubbed it the triple crown, but no one's run the squat, the deadlift, and the bench press broke together because it's very, very difficult. But you could run the RTA and the press and the pull program together. It'd be quite difficult, but it is very, very doable. So what I would probably do is run one day where you're squatting by itself, one day where you're deadlifting by itself, and then have one day where you're squatting and deadlifting. So you're going to take a little bit of a hit on them somewhat because of your obviously squatting deadlifting on the same day is going to tire you out a little bit, and whichever goes first. I'd always recommend squatting first, of course, but and then the press, then you can either fit that in on those days depending how long you have to train, or it's probably better that you do the press on one of those days where you're only doing one of the squat or deadlift, and then do the press probably on a separate day. So it'll be 5 days of training, but the press would be a shorter session. Yes, I can't get involved in some of those comments, but I'm sure you can guess. Yeah, the big thing with the butt wink is of course the the studies, the duty of care people have on those studies, and it is very, very difficult. And ethics has gotten very strict in the last 10, 15 years in terms of studies. David Litvinov, come on, David. He's missed he's missed 5 out of 5 lifts so far. David, hate to see it. Come on. And then for some people, of course, butt wink doesn't cause any issues, and it's no problem, and it's within their limits of flexion. Yeah, it is. It must be weird coming out clean and jerking less than the top snatch. Rory, if I do, wait, I don't know if I'll do full snatch and clean jerk together again, but I'll definitely be, as I'm doing now, I'm doing lots of cleans, really enjoying it. Lots of behind the neck jerks, I'm really enjoying it. I think later in the summer, I'm going to start up snatch again. I'll go after all-time PBs and those. But I suppose I can do whatever I want. Is kind of realization I came to. I can do what I enjoy doing, and I'm just really enjoying doing the clean and the jerk at the moment. And I'm definitely going to come back for the snatch again in a few months and go after that, and probably leave the clean and jerk off a bit, or mostly leave it off. So I certainly will be coming back for the snatch all-time PB. 213 for Peter. My subject for bachelor's, I did a biochemistry, or specifically industrial biochemistry, a BSc in university. What time is Lasha? Lasha is still probably another 15 minutes away, realistically. I think I just want to go for that. So I suppose I'm kind of doing the clock off shit at the moment. This is the behind the neck jerk and the full clean. But I will, just a full snatch, I will definitely go after again for sure. Definitely some bigger weights. And hopefully with Anton's help I can hit them up. But I'm doing it well at the moment. It's just really enjoyable and it works really well. I could probably do a little bit of snatching if I want, but I haven't just bothered. She's like, boo, where's Lasha? To get the snatch. But when I did get it, it was very good. That's why it's always there, it'll come back very fast, I'd probably get back to 140 snatch in, I get back to in probably about 2 months from doing no snatching, which I did last year. So it's going from 90% of my actual 1RM to PBs. Just does take a bit of work, but it's there for sure. 216 for Bakari, third attempt. I wonder why Georgia sent him just kind of in the least douchiest way possible. It's just interesting. He's not obviously the next up and coming super if he's in his late 20s. Yeah, it's interesting. Yeah, so the elbows up isn't also ideal. Sometimes it can drive you forward, but elbows up is certainly better than elbows forward. So that's a common mistake a lot of people make, is elbows come forward like this, and then we see a rounding at the thoracic. So elbows slightly back. In general, what's better is to keep them fully rigid, keep this nice and straight, so you can drive through the bar as much as possible. What's with the timestamps? There's no timestamps. What timestamps? All right, Arcadius, 217. Nice clean. It's very hard to become a super and not gain a significant amount of body fat. Like, it's without the use of a huge amount of extra drugs and a lot of time. How long do you think it took to get Snatch? 8 years. Yeah, it took about 8 years to really understand what's going on. Yeah, but at that stage I'd done 150 something. So personally, that's what it felt like. Ilia's front squat was perfect, obviously because he's built like a fridge. But the big thing with the front squat, more often than not, for people, it's much better if you can hold that full grip. It just allows for a better tightness of the upper back, which is so much more useful for most people. But again, it's just his build is sickening. You can't do the elbow thing without an assessment beforehand. So it used to be, I think you could just do it in smaller competitions. You can do it, but at internationals, I think you have to declare it, and the doctor, the Georgian doctor, there will check you out or whatever. It'll be obvious if you're joking. Martzine 220 got the Valesa weightlifting shoes on. There's Snoozy Doggo behind me. Actually, everyone else in the house is asleep except for me right now. 220. Generally quite a good jerk from Martzine. Ooh. Okay, interesting. Training a tiny bit of thoracic integrity plus a tiny bit of hip leverage is better cope than just a bunch of hip kickback. I wouldn't trade thoracic integrity. I don't like to see that in terms of long-term movement. I'd probably suss that out, but a little bit of hip kickback is not so bad. I'd get rid of the hip leverage or whatever versus a good morning for sure, or a bigger good morning. But I wouldn't like to see a loss of thoracic positioning if it moves into flexion. But if you're staying in extension or you move further into extension, then it's probably fine for the back squat. YouTube's mobile app is flawlessly constructed. Is there timestamps on the live stream? I'm currently on the laptop for this. Oh no, they're calling Martine. It's just let him have it. Let it go. Let the birdie go. Yeah, press out. Yeah. Oh, they put in the challenge card. Okay. Now worse than your first attempt. No Enter 2 review coming in the near future. There should be a tier weightlifting shoe coming soon, the tier lifters. So that'll be interesting. Martin's coming up for his second attempt at 220. And then it's the three big dogs. So we've got this huge gap between the field between all the big dogs. And then our big boys, two Armenians, one Georgia. Sounds like a terrible joke. Two Armenians, one Georgian walk into a weightlifting hall. Eurononics. I think in Ireland they're a bit disconnected from the European Union a little bit, or the European continent. From the continental European countries here, do you feel like you're European? Like obviously I know I'm a European because obviously I'm in the European continent and also in the European Union, but you know, is it Europe? All right, second time for Marcin. This is actually just a double for supers. It's only been 2 minutes, so it still counts as a double. Come on, 6 seconds, Mart. Yep. Come on. Looks like he's about to pass out. Let's get it. Surely you got that one. Okay, good lift. While we're waiting, what music is everyone listening to at the moment? I've been listening to a lot of Mumford and Sons again. What else have I been listening to? Oh, Young Spirit. They're a Northern Cree, like a rap group. They make some interesting music. New Bell Witch album. Don't know who that is. Also, I made the Seek Strength metal playlist. Seek Strength metal, 6 sound metal. If you're 4.5 hours of fantastic metal music, a little bit of rap again, a lot of Kanye West, old school Kanye West, obviously. Okay, Peter is out for 220 for his third attempt. Peter's been just chopping away here at lifts. Ah, characters. Fuck. Whose technique do you like in the clean? Death Clock. I don't know who that is. You know what? Actually, I've been listening to a little bit of EDM recently, just a tiny bit. I used to listen to a lot when I was a teenager, like hardstyle EDM, techno, but just a very small amount lately. Psychedelic rock. Oh, Mart has great clean technique, but generally you'll see people with massive back squats will always have good cleans. Like Arsha Benchprof is a great example of that. You just have all that excess power. Snoozing. Loving Trivium at the moment. Shogun, probably the best metal album I can think of. Shogun extended version of some unbelievable songs for training. Okay, Bakari out for his third attempt at 220. I used some of those clock off plates in our friend's gym in London, Ascension, and I gotta say, I love them. Apparently, he knows our Freddie knows there's a full warehouse full of them somewhere of clock off plates and stuff. Apparently, they break very easily though. Seek a Sleep should be out in hopefully 2 to 3 weeks. So we're just waiting for final batch testing to come back. And so it's given up to a lot of our friends and nearby people, and they're all loving it. So very happy with that. Okay, Arcadia's out for 220, 223. Ascendancy. I didn't love Ascendancy. No, and if Trivian fans love saying Ascendancy is the best, but I actually like more of their new stuff. When it comes to Trivian. Now, Pull Hard on the Strings for Martyr is one of their best all-time songs, but the rest of that album, uh, I'm not. I don't love it. Shit. Okay, Arcadius. Fuck the music. Focus on the left deck. So Arcadius drops the clean and jerk. So I didn't love Trivium's new song either. So yeah, I just let Matt Heafy sing. Let him let him let him use his vocals, and I think they did that really well in like the Sin the Sentence or in the Court of the Dragon was okay. But I think in Shogun their music ability is so good. Their music, the guitar, phenomenal. And the Sin in the Censor, I did like that, but Shogun is a great mix between Matt Heafy's vocals and the music. Okay, so our Czech monster, our absolute fucking horse. I think you're kind of a Clydesdale or a Shire. You're not a fringe anymore if you're a super. You're just a horse. You're just a full-on horse. Ginger shot. Benadryl and Sika sleep. No, it's just ketamine. Sika energy drink. Dara's very keen to do a pre-workout, so a very kind of basic, pretty stim pre-workout. So we'll look into that. If Sika sleep goes well for sure. I'd like to do a Sika intro workout drink because I've been using it recently and I do really enjoy it. So it might be something we'll look into. Sika sleep is definitely super effective and I'm very happy with it. There we go. Oh, is that elbow a little bit wobbly? Is it a little bit wobbly? Yeah, you'll be able to buy Sika sleep from anywhere. Now, of course, obviously, in Spain, you'll be fine, but some places you might have to pay customs. It shouldn't be too much extra because the price points will be very reasonable. But yeah, we'll ship it everywhere like we always do. We ship everything everywhere. But yeah, you'll be able to buy it. Make the time. No, his voice is so good. Matt Heafy. I don't know if you saw during lockdown, but they did some live streams of the band. So this is the bad boy while we're waiting. So you can fold them back into this. All sachets, 30-day supply. One, the lemon and lime tastes really good. We wanted to. So there's a gram of salt in it, which is very, very useful for people who train and normal neurological functions. But it was quite hard to cover up the taste of salt, but the lemon and lime works really well. So it is. So sachets like this, pop them into your drink, about 200 ml or so. I'll do a full breakdown of the listed ingredients next week, so I'll have a good idea of what you're getting into. XXL Labs ginger shot. But who's making the ginger shot? We don't know. So yeah, I know we've thought about the tubs. So there's a reason it's more difficult, or you can't really do this kind of mixture in a tub. One is that because of if accounting for particle size is quite difficult because there's multiple different ingredients. It's harder to ensure mixing over someone having the tub in their cupboard for a long period of time. So the sachets, in terms of environmental impact, so they are sustainable as they can get. So they're a company in Ireland, but sachet versus a tub, ultimately you're still having an impact in that regard. It's either a plastic tub or a cardboard box with the sachets. I think the environmental impact. Simon, first attempt, 235, absolutely nailing it. Yeah, so that is something we did look into, and they do pay their dues in regards to the use of environmental stuff. So in Europe, there's this symbol, or generally in Ireland, so the second one. So you either offset it by paying the company pays it, or the actual material is recyclable, and that depends on the company. Now I know there's a lot of issues around recycling. In reality, that most things don't actually get recycled; they just get burned, which is very unfortunate. But the cardboard is recyclable. A lot of those plastic tubs aren't recyclable. It's also not a super accurate way of measuring your stuff. So just be careful with that for your own regard. If you do get tubs of stuff that is not, if it's a multi-ingredient mixture in a plastic tub and they give you a scoop, if I was you, I would wait, get a microgram scales or a low enough scales, because due to the nature, you could have a lot of high density particles. It's not going to make that huge difference, but I suppose if you're concerned, but if you could have a lot of high density ingredients in some part of it, and if it's all mixed together, you could be getting different dosages. And when you're getting to things like as low as, say, activated B6, and you're trying to get like 10 to 15 milligrams of B6, say, you don't want to be getting a dosage of 30 milligrams, which potentially could happen if you're scooping things out. So I know things like the athletic greens, my drug dealers, they do look like drug dealer skills, they do. But if you look like athletic greens, I think I've never had them, but I think they come in a tub and they have a ridiculous amount of them. I did get the Ghost Lifestyle, Christian Guzman's thing, or Max Tunings. I got their greens, and they've literally, there's like 100 different things in it, but I'm unsure as how they're ensuring consistent mixing. So when the manufacturers, they mix it initially and ensure consistent mixing, and then you get a sachet. So you're very confident that per sachet you have a very high chance, and we'll be confirming that with part of the testing, that you have within your tolerance of ingredients. But if you have a very large tub of large amount of mixing, I'm not really sure how you ensure that you're getting the ingredients per scoop. So even if you weigh them, you're more likely to get it because the scoop's not guaranteed, because you can have more or less, on top or bottom. Yeah, it's an interesting subject. To be honest, it probably doesn't matter that much as long as you're getting it. But if you buy stuff from like Nootropics Depot, they'll often, if it's a powder, they won't send you a scoop because they don't think you can get accurate dosing from a scoop, that you should always weigh it. So if that's like a single ingredient, that's perfect. But if you've multiple ingredients mixed in a tub, yes, if you haven't, I have thought about this. Okay, so Lalian, 240 first attempt. Beautiful clean. Absolutely nailed it. Okay. All right. Yeah. Is there 250 plus there? I'm not sure. It's hard to tell with supers because the weights are so heavy. It's hard to dominate them so much. But okay. Very easy first attempt. I'm going to say we might see a crack at like 255 for Lalian. I think he's going to go 250 next, if I had to guess. Okay. So Simon's coming out at 245. Simon demolished at 235. Imagine we saw a 255 from. I did do a little bit of study. Simon's beard is so long it actually could catch him in the clean, which has happened to me. So 245. So we might look into tubs in the future, but we need to be very sure people get a consistent dose. And I'm not sure, and I do like the idea of the sachet where you can just put it in. You're guaranteed each time, and it's just part of that where you don't have to be making an effort. So 245 for Simon. Nails his 235 in first attempt. Cool. Oh. Always a phenomenal jerk in Simon. Yes. Unbelievable. Incredible. Still one more attempt to go. Oh no, is he done? Or is he just waving? Incredible crowd as well. Yeah. Such control over the turnover. He's so mobile for a super and for someone this large. His front rack mobility is incredible, and overhead position. So be interesting to see now if he goes 250 or so for next attempt. Generally, if he stands up with it, I think he could clean it, or if he could jerk it. Of course, if he cleans it, he can clean it. So Lash out for his first attempt. All right, Lash out, first attempt. 1,400 coaches around him. First attempt, 250. 246, sorry, not 250. Ooh, interesting. So just trying to guarantee that win. I don't know why, but I feel like this mightn't be that easy for him. So Simon's finished. I pulled out. Okay. Yeah. 246. Oh, my stream is just frozen. What the fuck? Is the stream still here going? Internet's still there. What the fuck? Oh jeez. Is he my stream? What a time to fucking freeze. Goddamn weightlifting house. Wait, did he make it? Oh, weird. Okay, just refreshing. Just seeing a replay. Okay. Okay, very easy clean. Oh, very easy. Okay, I think I'm back live again. Okay, Lalian's out. What he's looking for there. Lalian 250, second attempt. Thanks, Goose. 250, second attempt for Lalian. I feel it, okay. I'm gonna say he's gonna nail this, but I don't know if he'll make into the 250s, which is obviously massive for a 22-year-old, 23-year-old. Whoa! Pull is all there, but yeah, the 240 just wasn't. It wasn't unbelievable. I feel like he'll come back and make that. So Simon snatched 195. Lalian did 212. So it kind of only makes sense for Lalian to go up and go for a bigger clean and jerk, give an attempt at like 255 or something. But Lasha seems pretty on form. So is what matters more for Olympic qualification? Simon's like, what the fuck are you doing? Make the clean and jerk, which is adorable. Lasha, absolute behemoth. I hope Lasha goes full Matthias Steiner and gets skinny and does a singing career after Georgian folk singing. Oh no, don't touch your heart, Lasha. That's concerning. Already has heart issues. Manlalian. Simon harassing him. Harassing you only the way your teammates can harass you, which is give out to you kind of more than the coach in a kind of a mean way. All right. So he still needs 10 kilos up. So Lash is up by 10 kilos in the snatch. So you need 256 to potentially win. Asking for silence. 250 again. Okay, so he's it doesn't really matter if he makes this. $250. I think he's going to make this because just give another attempt at it. Get a bit familiar with 250 in the clean and jerk. Someone needs to clean the camera as well. Go on. Better clean. Nail the jerk this time, I reckon. Yes! Unbelievable. Nice. Yeah. I call Lally into a T. Fantastic work. So now does this model Lasha go for? So are we actually going for 260? Greatly injured. Technically, beautiful. I love his lifts, his start position, his dynamic start. All right, Lasha. Oh, big dog. 252. Just for the win. Gold medal. All right, if he's going 252, then it's unlikely he's going to go something much bigger on his last attempt, I would say. I bet he'll pull out after this attempt. 252. An average Monday, Wednesday, or Friday for Lasha. No problem. He looks in great shape. Ooh. Would he not just take an attempt at 270 now? Just come on, Lasha. Just put it on the bar and give it a go. Okay. Is he going to leave it? Is he done? All right. I think he's done. Lasha won. It's a price to no one. Huge performance from Lalian, which was great as well to see. And hopefully, could he capitalize on that for next year? We do see people make massive gains sometimes for the Olympics, put in a huge training block, take some risks for the old drug testing. So maybe Lalian might take a go next year and put it up to Lasha. Thanks for watching, everyone. I hope you enjoyed this. I'm going to go swimming and then maybe max my back squat again. I'll do a heavy deadlift. So enjoy your 7 days. We'll see you tomorrow for the new show. Thanks for watching, everyone.